following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.
Hello everyone and welcome to our final match of the night. I'm G-Man and we will be streaming to you from the TOUCAN region. It will be for this last match of July 12th. It will be number 3 seeded Julio Cesar going up against number 14 Brando. Cesar looking to put himself back into contention for the Super League bubble, and Brando looking to put himself out of the relegation battle going on right now. So we jump to the matchups here, and we'll take a look at what's happened today. We saw earlier on stream, Yepes kind of take care of business against another 0-win player in Clint B. 4-0 win there. Yepes moves on relatively easily, and Clint now has to go into Tournament 5 needing a win, otherwise he may get relegated to D2. Then in the TOUCAN region, another big upset here, and unfortunately a very familiar person on the losing side here. Cody Lamas loses in 7 to Retro. Tough outing for Lamas. That's absolutely what he did not need going into this tournament. Loses 4-3 here, as he kind of has a bit of a decline continue to go there, and was pretty frustrated after the game, and overall just has not been the season Lamas was hoping for, excusing the really good April performance. And for Seth and Acosta, that went 7 as well. Seth Cole was able to hang on, survive. Asim Acosta was not quite able to get the series win there. He's one of those people who is kind of in the relegation battle, but he did get all the way to 7 as up to 11 game wins. So assuming there's not a complete collapse of the bubble, he should be okay to stay in D1, but obviously not the result he was hoping for. He's going to have a big run in Tournament 5 if he wants any chance to make Super League, even though those chances are really low right now. And that right now, last matchup of the day, it's going to be Cesar versus Brando. It's a battle between someone who's looking to be in the Super League bubble, and a battle between someone who's on the relegation bubble right now. We'll jump to the bracket pod here. Again, this is going to be the last matchup of this specific half of the TOUCAN region. KT on by Island. Earlier on in the week, we saw Peter Onjak take out Zay 4-2. Onjak getting his second win of the season. Kind of finally returning the form a little bit there. And then the winner of this will go on to face Charles Sanford, who was able to get back on the win column, taking out Aiden Smith 4-1 in a relatively convincing fashion. And both these players, Cesar and Brando, are looking to take that spot to try to get past Sanford in the round of 32, but they're going to have to go head-to-head here first before we get to that, and we'll see who comes out on top. Jumping into the breakdown of each player's season, I mean, Cesar's kind of been all over the place. He's ranked 23rd in the second Super League reveal. However, that's absolutely not what he wants currently. March was kind of a whatever tournament. I think he had high expectations going into it and kind of didn't quite hit the mark. Was eliminated in the round of 32 by Carson, and a 4-2 loss was not necessarily the result he was hoping for. Aquatic April looked even more optimistic, but again, some undoings happened, and he ended up losing 5-4 to Stingray in what was a very frustrating loss. And then the Masquerade May again returned to the round of 32 and lost once again to ALP 4-2. One thing to note, though, he has made it past the first round in all 3 of these tournaments so far. He's looking to make it 4-4 here and maybe get past the round of 32 like he did in April. Has wins on Toaster Guy, Retro, H, and Sam England, so not the craziest set of wins, although the Toaster Guy win could provide some good value in his resume, but overall he's definitely looking to get a deep run here in this tournament. On the other end of things, we have Brando, who is looking to just get a win, a singular win here on the series column. Currently 0-3 right now. Lost to Clay 4-3 in March Madness, and since then it's just been kind of downhill from there. Got swept by both Monkey and Chomik in both Aquatic April and Masquerade May. Really has just not been the season he's been hoping for, so he's hoping to turn things around here tonight to try and both get out of the relegation battle and potentially turn his season around, similar to how what Toaster Guy did in the Masquerade May last tournament. Let's jump to the stream layout here, assuming we have the right one. Yes, we do. Let's jump to the stream layout. I am joined by who will be my co-commentator tonight, KT. He is a little tired right now, so he may not have that the crazy Skittles energy that some people are expecting of him. But I mean, KT, when it comes to this matchup, this is not really a matchup a lot of people think of per se. When we're thinking marquee matchups per se, because most people would think for Caesar, stuff like Sanford, which could happen, stuff like Sanford, maybe even the Caesar KT matchup. You could definitely see an Ashley Caesar matchup being discussed possibly, but this is kind of how these round ones go. Brando looking for a big upset here. I mean, for both these players, what are they really looking at to try to get the victory here? Because I think this is an important game for both players.
Regardless, though, I have three things to say to watch this game. The first thing you got to look at, and I'm going to ask the questions to these boys, but first, the three keys of the game. One, it all comes down to mentality. This is Jay Caesar, man. He loves the mentality. He digs for this. He loves the grind. We're going to find who has the better mentality. Number two, can Brando control ammo? I mean, that's been the story. Right, ever since that Clay game, the ammo control has been suspect, and he knows it. He's got to go into this thinking about how the ammo can be on Caesar's end. And the last one I want to say is, this is kind of an unfortunate thing I'm going to say, is what's the starting guard? We have seen too many wild starts, and that's a clear indicator when you see those wild card, wild +4. That's very hard to get, G. I know there's only 4 of them in the deck of each, but when you get down a wild star or wild card start, wild +4 start, that limits your usage of the ammo right there just by 1 card, and that can make the difference. And that usually means something is about to happen. So those are the 3 keys. I'm going to ask a question to Caesar here, G. Caesar, look, you're my brother. Right. Thank you for all the help this week. Second off, look, I want to know 3 things in your head, man. What's one, your thoughts on this, man? I know usually in most tournaments, you think Elite 8 or bust. How does the mindset shift knowing that the big man is on campus, right? Stanford is right there working. How do you not look ahead and focus on Brando tonight? And my follow-up question after that, you've seen what's been happening. You've been watching every game, right? Are you going to be someone tonight, right, that actually plays a little bit more composed? Forget the table, right? On the table. Just mentally say, hey, let me take a deep breath. Find a little rhythm off the table. That way, in case something happens with the internet or something, you can stay locked in. Brando, my question, and you can just type that up. Brando, my question for you, we know you're in a relegation battle. We know you're very positive about this league. We thank you for everything, brother. My question for you simply is, how do you rattle Caesar's cage? Have you learned the ammo control we've been talking about? Do you think you can get a mental game edge? Or what's going to be your plan of attack tonight, knowing you're playing one of the most mentally sound players in round 1? So we've seen in G, round 1 Caesar usually is legit. We talk about Caesar and Ard. Unfortunately, Ard couldn't be here this tournament, but Caesar and Ard are some of the best in round 1. They're up there with the likes of myself and JT, usually pretty indestructible in round 1. Do you think that continues? What's your thoughts entering this game? G?
Oh, I mean, my thoughts were, I thought that we were going to throw that question for Caesar and Brando, but
No, they're typing it right now. They're good.
yeah, okay. Well, I mean, for my thoughts of this game, I mean, obviously, I said it before, I think it's an important matchup for both these players. Obviously, Caesar does not want a first-round exit here because he's in the middle of trying to get back into the Super League battle here. Obviously, Brando not having the best season at the moment, so Caesar does have a lot to lose here if he doesn't get through. Brando, on the other hand, doesn't really have a lot to lose here at this point. He's got a lot to gain, and a win here could definitely turn his season around for the better. We've seen Brando get close. We saw him get very close to a win in March. It's just the past 2 tournaments have been sweeps, and we haven't really seen much out of Brando here. So I really think in between these tournaments, if Brando took the time to try to reevaluate what he's trying to do to get the job done, I think he has a good chance to possibly reverse fortunes here and pull off a huge upset. I think probably the biggest upset we've seen so far. But again, very important match for both these players. Caesar's going to go into this with a game plan, and Brando is going to likely do the same. So, my plans are strictly confidential. Got to keep old Caesar in the dark. Can't let him know what's coming. No, that's fair enough. I mean, KT, I know you do like sometimes when players just keep their the cards close to their chest, pretty much, as the way to put it. But still waiting on Caesar's comments here.
Well, that's what it's all about, G, right? It's not so much about confidentiality. That's always a term used in old secret services and stuff. But really, it's not even so much confidentiality, G. It's just quiet confidence. That's what you have to be quietly confident here, G. Right? We've seen the hosings, right? How many times can we count on hosing in the last 3 months? It's been hose city, right? So how do you prevent those hosing? You got to go in pretty quietly confident, knowing whatever the bot throws at you, you can deal with it in a composed manner. I'm interested to see what Caesar says, though, right? Caesar is a guy that usually knows how to make answers and really type out things strategically, too. He is one of the best at it. I expect some answer here. It's going to have a little bit of fluff, but also straight to the point. That's what you expect right here.
Pretty much. Just so you say that we get Caesar's answer. Well, I know I said Elite 8 or Buzz, but mentality to shift or tuning each match is an individual thing because focusing on a main certain round ends up ending horribly for me because I know I made some small mistakes in the past tournament, which get bad in the way I lost against ALP.
Once again, to the point. Yep.
Go ahead.
No, once again, to the point, right? Shift the mentality, throw a little media fluff in there, and knows how to be quietly confident. It looks like both players are quietly confident. I think you know what time it is, G. It's time to get down to business, baby. Run it up.
Absolutely. So Caesar is the higher seeded player, so he will get the call for game number 1 against CSR for D1. So once the card starts 1 on, they cannot go back to it. So we'll see what Caesar decides to start things out with on game number 1.
Caesar
goes with 7. All right.
No need to even say anything. Let's run it, big dog. All you, G. Run it in. Hold on, let me just spell it right. Hold on.
Yeah, I was about to say if you could get the card change for me, that would be great.
Run it up. Go for it.
So just starting with the OG start here, I mean, some people do like doing this to see where the game's looking at right now. Bit of a feeler, so gonna be curious to see how this plans out for both players, but we are ready to get things going. 1 power play each will be best of 7. And here we go. Start with green reverse here, so early opportunity for a big run. Again, though, with 7, it could just depend on what both players draw. Caesar's just going to play it cool with the green 1.
Well, ammo control, right? You got to think about ammo control, G. Caesar's one of the best at thinking about that in round 1. Not to get too ahead of himself. In round 1, G, as we go 1 up this time, you don't want to think 3 or 4 steps ahead. Sometimes thinking in the moment is the right move.
Quick switch to the blue, too, though. I mean, we've seen some people try to adapt a more aggressive strategy, which has worked out well in some cases, but obviously there are some downsides with that. Any thoughts on that? I mean, we're seeing this kind of cool as Brando does a crossover there, so bit of a counter. Yeah.
Yep. Undercut strat right there from Brando. He's going to try to force Caesar into an unwanted play. He might have some fade ammo, too. We'll see if Brando has the fade ammo. Maybe in a red.
Ooh, another one. Another light switch here.
Still got it. But no, you see, this is aggressive from Brando. He's trying to get Caesar to force that ammo in a red. Got Caesar thinking. Caesar's got to readapt right here. He's going to go 0 sugar. Hard to switch off. Good move.
0 and draw. Nothing on red. Might have been a switch too many.
Caesar can run.
And that's kind of the thing with some of these light switches. Like, if you do it too much, you kind of put yourself into a draw situation. That might not be good. I mean, there's another one, but this time Caesar's going to draw here, so quick switch into the yellow works out.
Tie game right here, G, coming for sure. For sure.
It could be more depending on what Brando has. I mean, yellow skip, but you have to wonder if maybe the game could wrap up here. Plays the blue skip, plays the blue reverse, and do we get it? And he doesn't call
from
Uno.
Caesar right there in the call. I didn't want to say it.
Yep, does not call out Uno. That's a mistake you can't be making there. Brando very easily could have had the game won. But And that's good awareness there because sometimes you kind of get caught stuck in the moment and you don't exactly remember. But we'll see what Brando does now since it's still his turn. Goes to the blue side. I mean, you gotta wonder if that was the game right there.
100% was the game. 100%.
Well, listen, some people play these reverses and skips into a draw. You know, it's not rare to see that.
You do that against Caesar, you're ending up losing the series, Gene. He knows better. That was a clear mistake on the Uno. Let's see if Brando can respond.
Oh,
bailout.
+4. Got a bailout there. Sticks it blue. Goes to blue 6. And forgets to call Uno again.
Oh. Okay, that's just a simple mistake.
That's 2 missed calls in the first game. This is not looking good for Brando right now. Blue 3. What's the play for Brando? Especially since he had the +4 there to help him out a bit. Kind of resets it, but Brando just it's a bit more awareness really. Hasn't had that so far.
Oh my goodness, another one.
Clean play.
Well,
We're looking at the 8 or 7 or 9. There we go.
Yeah, he's good now.
Gotta see what Caesar has here. It seems like Caesar's not really getting a whole lot to counter this. I mean, Brando's getting a lot on the blue also. That's another thing also. It's not necessarily that he's getting power cards in general. He's getting power cards on the blue, so that's helping him out a bit. Because if you had it on like the yellow or green, just like I say the yellow, well, +4 into it, but if you had like the yellow or red, that could be a bit of a problem. But he's able to run it on the blue, but Caesar has enough of the games and throws down to +4. Six to 3 here. Could be a draw potentially. Might be getting a lot of blue, and he does get the draw there.
Yeah, it's missed opportunities. This game should have been won on multiple times. Caesar's getting away. 9 lives right here, moment.
Pretty much, and quick switch back into the blue. Interesting. I would be surprised if he was accounting for a draw from Brando. That seems a bit unlikely, but gets the switch here. Maybe possibly some sort of number efficiency per se.
Could be a split ammo to finish. Split ammo's been popular. We see with Shaman. There we go.
It's blue 8 Uno.
Split numbers. Maybe tries to force Brando into the switch or something. We'll see.
Plays the blue 4. Is that game?
Yeah, no one's Caesar.
Nope. Nothing. Can't quite finish it on blue.
Nah, he tried. You might have been right, G. Actually, he might have just tried to just force a little bit of a 2-color. Try to get 2-color self going. Makes sense there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe he had maybe this is just speculation, but I'm wondering if maybe like it was similar numbers for both colors. Maybe it was like a yellow 8, yellow 6 sort of deal. Maybe he was trying to go for that, but it didn't quite pan out. We'll have to see though, but it's a bit of a draw city going on right now. We're just about to hit 6 minutes. And Brando with some mistakes, not able to close the game, but Caesar has not really been able to capitalize. Cards are abysmal, Brando says, so yeah, you see the mentality kind of cracking a bit early, but
yeah, you can't crack against this guy, man. You know, you give Sneezer a sniff, he'll take it. He's like a shark, man. You give him a little blood, a little dye in the old water, he'll start turning up. I think he could turn up right here if he wanted to. Maybe switch it and try to get Brando into more of a mind game if he needs to.
Okay.
Go 1 up. Okay.
1 up. Well, I mean, both those were off the top for the most part, unless someone was doing a hold, but gets a switch there, so that should bail both of them out.
Yeah, it's a nice simple. Caesar did have to draw a little bit heavy, so he's still back there.
I have to wonder if Caesar maybe got some more ammo in that draw because it didn't seem like he started out with much to begin the game, but
it's the risk with 7 cards, G. It's an OG strap, but sometimes it can bite you in the old rear if you don't know how to play. Caesar is one of those mid-tier players.
First ditto of the game. And quick switch to the yellow.
You know what? I don't mind the aggression there. It's still two color. Really, the red's the key. Yeah. Well,
there's a crossover. And Brando sticks to the red. Caesar down to 4, Brando up to 6.
Caesar looking for 3 here. I think. You know, I usually don't say this, G, but Caesar is one of those guys that has said in the past, I'm not always going to put words in his mouth, but he don't mind using the power play in game 1 or 2. It's just not out of the realm to see it. It's one of the few guys that will do that.
Gets a switch on green. We'll see if Caesar likes this or not. He does not.
Nope.
And that's a bit of a stall here. That's a pretty good stall, but
ISO. Yep.
And Caesar's gonna draw again. Brando plays the green 8. Does Caesar gonna switch off this, or can Brando capitalize?
No.
Brando can capitalize. Goes back to the red. With the green 8 draw, that closes the gap actually. So ends up being a really good ice there.
Yeah, it's a good ice from Brando. I think Caesar, now with a couple draws, might have to be thinking how I get back to yellow.
He played some red skip and draws on the blue skip.
Great move.
So does Brando.
Great move. And I know why he did that, but great move. I won't say it. I won't botch his plan.
Essentially got another ice here going, possibly. Caesar does play the blue 4, though. Brando withdraws the blue 3.
Yeah, he's looking for pace management. I can see it. He's playing a little pace management, hoping to get a switch here from. There it is.
Gets the red. He could be looking for cards also, but we will have to see how that goes. It has the red. I mean, the thing is also you could just kind of have that stray blue skip, and you really need to figure out a way to get rid of it. That could be it as well, but Caesar runs out on the red, and Brando does as well. So I mean, we're really looking at a yellow or a green here.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta get back to that yellow. That's what I'm thinking. Or, gee, potentially we get a little bit of top deck. We still haven't seen many +2 options. We still got those open.
Brando's been getting some top decks here, which is really helping him stay low on these cards, and he gets a wild yellow.
Caesar has to have the +2 now. He's got to have it right now. Now or never.
This is pretty much check here, and he has the +4. That was a hold.
Yep. Pace management from Caesar textbook. Yep.
Interesting. I feel like that might have been a held wild from Brando, but yeah, that might have been a held wild.
Interesting.
Blue 5, a quick switch, has the number efficiency there, and another crossover there. Goes back to the yellow.
Caesar might have faded that yellow. Look, G. He might have faded that yellow, though. Yep.
Yeah, it's just how long can he run the yellow, though? That's the real question. And the light switch to the red, that's could be another stall going.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, man. That's a crazy move. Let's see. Yeah, it was a stall.
Yeah, just hit one past 10 minutes here. Getting close to 11.
Could be a bluff there from Brando on the wild. We've seen bluffs being a package for sure.
Well, I don't think so, but we'll see how it ends up playing out. But we have another stall on the red here.
No, not the one the wild earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much just a draw city going on right now. Just hit 11 minutes. Yeah, just the red one is kind of just lingering right now for everyone. Caesar decides to have enough of it, plays the +2, goes for a 3-bagger with the red 2, so 1 up at the end of it. Brando's going to respond with a red skip here. I mean, we could be looking for a color switch per se. He does get it with the green.
He erased that +2. Yep.
This was the color Caesar was liking before here, so I'm curious if he'll be able to run this for a bit. Green 3, so ditto. Goes 1 up at the green 4.
You wonder if Caesar's fading more ammo, but it'd be hard to think that with all the ammo being burned.
I mean, this is neck and neck here for this first game. This is neck and neck here for the first game, pretty much. Caesar
Boy, oh
draws
boy.
there, and that's going to be a switch to yellow. Maybe Caesar gets a slight bail there. Again, I don't know how long he runs yellow, but there's no red, and I'm not really sure what the blue is going to give.
It's dose to dose. I mean, Caesar's got to have something here, right? Oh, he checked the table. I don't know. Maybe not.
This might not be good. This might not be good. Okay, Caesar gets Uno on the 4.
Uh-oh.
Reverse might have stole at the end.
That's game. Yeah.
Got it.
Wow.
Brando, despite the double Uno mistake, still gets away with it in this first one. I mean, Brando, I feel like this game could have gone way shorter, but again, the unfortunate mistake there kind of cost you a few minutes, but ended up getting the job done. Kind of stole it from Caesar right under his nose. But any thoughts after that first game? And for Caesar, what was your last card on that one?
No, G, am I allowed to ask a question or no?
Yeah, you can, of course. I'm wondering if Caesar's maybe was blue. Yeah, I knew it, blue 2 or blue +2.
Well,
So
I knew why he did that. Oh, right. That's tape study. You look at Brando in the past; he would do those blue +2 openers. So I get where he's coming from on that. What was the question, G, that you asked? I don't want to confuse. What did you ask, Brando? Let them answer first.
I mean, any thoughts on the recovery there after the
Oh,
mistake
no,
early
no.
on?
I'll get a technical. All right, Caesar. It seemed like when that game was going in 2 minutes. Like, let's face it, that game was a 2 minute. You've been a guy that talks about playing that mid-tier 7 to 10 package. You saw it right there, right? Those 2 call-outs, let's face it, before that, you got nothing. He had everything. Is that a warning sign from the bot to adjust your strategy right there? To say, hey, you know what? This is what the bot's going to do. Do you potentially go iron? Do you risk it lower? What's your thoughts on just what the bot's doing right now? Brando, my question to you is, how do you mentally recompartmentalize after those 2 callouts? Was it a case of just taking a second to look back at possible Uno calls and utter a game? What did you personally do to recompartmentalize after that Caesar had basically had your number for a second there on the awareness, but how'd you recompartmentalize to get that game back? What's your vitals looking like right now? For sure. Back to you, Jared.
So, I mean, we're just kind of waiting for the answers here. Yes, got a dab. All I got initial draw were 7 numbers. Yeah, I still almost took it home. Yeah, I was figuring that the beginning was not really a strong start for Caesar here, but just kind of had to develop it as it went along. Unfortunately, kind of just came up a little short. Couldn't really find the connector to finish it off, but main goal was to force him to use the wild +4, while in general, since I figured he'd be holding one, and consistently, constantly switch colors to force him to draw.
Yeah, it's a toaster strat, absolute toaster strat. And we saw it, gee, look, with the way the bot's going, those toasty strats, get to Uno, get the dose cards. Opponents said, let them make the mistake. It's working. You wonder if Caesar's got that in the back of his head, say, hey, if Brando's going to throw that fire, I'm going to fight fire with fire right there and try to get to Uno force stand. We'll see. Toaster strats have been working in the past and are moving over. There's nothing to argue about that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just pulling up a quick stat here with Brando taking the win on this one. Just gotta find it, but
First win in a long time.
that is his first win in 11 games, I believe. So kind of breaks a bit of a losing streak there, but obviously got to get 3 more before the series win can be done. So that said, let's jump over to game number 2 here. Caesar still has the call, can still pick anything here, looking to try to make this 1-1 here.
I got it.
Yeah.
Caesar. Amigo. How many?
Double OG, so 14. All right.
Back to you, G.
All right. Call for game number 2. Caesar and Brandon joins, starts, and we go with the red 9 to begin this one.
Yeah, Caesar here's first turn of the game, like I said. Should definitely any second G. He's one of those old school players. We talk about Peter Onjak introducing that to the league with the deference. There he goes. So expect him to be locked in here in a second. I think he's going to sort through this one. Maybe do a little bit of Varigold Ashley. You know, Caesar's a guy that likes to sort through when he's down. I think he's going to do that right here. Try to get a little pace management going for sure. G there.
Yeah, I'm there. Just kind of waiting for this next move here. I mean, Caesar just played it cool with the red 2, and Brando's going to follow suit with the red 8. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a calmer start for the most part. Yeah, red 0. I mean, to me, that says Caesar might want to keep this red for a while. Brando's going to agree for now.
The
So,
trick, G, is when they switch. Who switches first will set the tone. That's how the meta is now. You switch early, you're setting the tone. You're making a statement. There it
oh,
is.
there we go. It's interesting because Caesar had the red 0. I thought he would have had at least another red play in there, but guess not. He switches to the blue. I don't think that's the last we've seen of reds, though, so.
No. Fade look, sideburns, G, right? The old sideburn haircut. Every time you get a sideburn, you got to make sure you get a little fade going on the top. So both guys know how to do that. I'm interested to see, though, with Caesar initiating that, yep, had a feeling, G, he was doing a little classic double. I think that's what Caesar, he wants to set the tone early, try to get Brando into more of a temptative state to throw ammo. He's going to do ditto here?
Blue 9, the
Oh.
bot's just lagging a bit.
Oh, boy. We've had that before.
So there's the ditto.
Yeah, Caesar, you can see it, G. Caesar's the aggressor right here. He's trying to go out there and lead the pack and see if Brando gets temptative here to make a mistake. But Brando's going to play this one cool.
Goes with the green 7 for now. Yeah, I mean, just kind of just running the numbers right now, so.
Great quick counter back, though.
There we go. Goes with the blue 1.
Fade look coming from Caesar here for sure. Checks the table. Yep.
Wild red. Okay.
Gonna pull the plug a little early here. See if Brando reacts. Maybe this is where Brando nothing.
Raw, nothing on red. Wow.
What Caesar needed. The fade look working now. The question is, did he fade too much and hope to get back to blue, or is this a straight red? And Brando's just drawing. This is great for Caesar. He can run it cleaner. Could be a sign of a monster hand too at the back end. We'll find out.
Red 4.
Still nothing. This is big for Caesar right here. Yeah, that aggressive. Usually Caesar's the guy to really not use these wilds. You 7-8 cards, so you know it's something big. Here it is.
This could wrap it up. Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Yeah, no need for that. Caesar, I knew it, buddy. You're not a guy to use the wilds. That's in-game adjustment, right? Not a bad hand, I'm not going to lie. That's in-game adjustment, right? Talk to me about that in-game adjustment, right? Say, hey, look, the first game, it was pretty low-centric on the ammo in terms of the wild. Got to calm the pace down, right? Sell the tone in, get that pace management going. Talk to me about how you stayed. It's up to G. I don't know. But the point is, your thoughts on just staying pace management centric right there and making that in-game adjustment. Brando, because you said you had a bad hand. Was it a case of you could have actually cooked a little bit if you didn't get on red? Maybe needed that yellow fake. We didn't see any yellow that game, really. It was a 3-color game. Till the end, of course. Okay. No comment. Got you. Liking it. Okay, Brent.
There you go.
Okay. Just don't spam it, like G said.
Yeah.
Still special. Okay.
Struggling with no special cards minus a blue +2 and a red skip. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just kind of happens. I mean, Caesar, I think he started with an above average hand, just kind of able to run through with it. Had the double yellow +2 and just wrapped it up from there. So, I mean, good stuff to Caesar. That's definitely what he needed to make this back even.
He needed that, G. He needed that for sure. Now that Brando's turn, he's got pretty much open board with 7. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we'll just jump into game 3 here. Again, kind of a quicker game, so not as much we could take from that. So Brando will have the possession arrow now. We'll see what he goes for. Can't pick 7. That's the only one he can't pick. So we'll see what the choice is from Brando here.
Brando, pretty high out there in Cali. What are we thinking, man? We're going to go high here, keep the temperature up, or we're going to go low, cool it off? What we got? Keep it in the middle. I like it.
It's like solid 65-degree weather there.
Is it?
No, I mean that's the best comparison I have for a 10-card start.
All right, so San Diego every day, 360 days out of the year, is like every day sunny.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
And we are going with the blue 3 to start.
I'm interested to see what happens. I just talked about the more aggressive player on the switching would ultimately win. And we saw it in game 2. It doesn't work all the time, but usually when you got the hand, you're more aggressive on the switch. And let's use aggressive here. I clean here.
I mean,
Easy.
most of these starts have just been clean so far, not really going for these big runs here, which I don't think going on the big run to start isn't bad. It creates some good separation, but just both these players just trying to keep it cool to start out.
Yeah, Caesar's not a guy to really go crazy here. He knows it too.
I mean, we've kind of just ran it all over the place. Blue 9, blue 2, blue 6.
You can see Brando's doing that fade look, right? He's looking to type that early before Caesar plays, trying to play some mind games. It's a fade look. Caesar's definitely one to, just
Blue 8.
not phased by that.
All right. And Brando runs out on the blue, so we'll see what Caesar does with this.
Yeah, Caesar's got him right where he needs him right now.
I'm wondering if Caesar has any blue left, or if maybe he'll go for a switch, or maybe we even get a draw city going early.
Would be a risk on the switch. It would.
Listen, I mean, sometimes you just gotta take those risks to get the job done. So he
He's
does
gonna go
switch it.
for it.
Interesting.
He's just gotta hope he guessed right. That's the key, because there's always that +2 backdoor looking, and Brando could smell it at any point. So I wonder if he guessed right. Taking his time and loading up, trying to get a little bit of anticipation. Here comes a little bit of a run from Brando.
Reverse. Okay. That just puts
Ties
the
it
game
up.
back at even, pretty much.
Yep. Both guys are very prone to checking the table. That's not a surprise. Interesting. Caesar now the aggressor on the switching. This could give Brando a chance to fire in. So he's playing it tricky. He's thinking, hey, you know what? Let's backdoor this into that green. Maybe try a green switch at the end if need be. But he's going to go 0 sugar. That's a good
Goes
sign.
with the
He's
0.
trying
I would expect him to stay on this yellow here. He didn't do it. He didn't do it earlier though when he played the 0. He doesn't do it again. Again, I'm curious what that 0 is placed for, because if he doesn't get the number that works out, it's a really tough spot. Especially if it's a draw, it's a really tough spot to get out of. So.
Brando, I think he's got something coming on G, despite no reds. Yeah, there's the +2.
There's the +2. I mean, gets slapped there, assuming once it gets played.
That's what I was talking about earlier, that +2 fade look. And great move there from Brando to save it. And that's what?
And it goes back to wild.
Yellow?
Or the yellow. Goes back to the yellow.
That's interesting.
He didn't draw on the yellow before. This could be a huge check on Caesar, although he does have the +2, so he may have gotten some more yellow if he didn't have it before. 6-3.
Caesar's got to weigh his options right here. He's got to weigh him right here. Is it worth pulling that ammo out now, or do you save it? I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's learned from his previous mistake. Be aggressive when you have to be.
He's going to go through the aggression there, +4 into the green 5.
You can't risk that, G. You see how this works. He could have had a triple plate of fish. Great move from
Smile. Might have another wild or a +4 here to put it back on yellow, or even a yellow 5 switch. No matter what the case is, I feel like yellow might be coming back very soon. No, just runs the green.
Caesar in good shape right here.
That smile remains ambiguous. Keeps running the green.
Oh, sir. Nothing.
Runs out. Brando looking for 4. That's gonna tie it. And Caesar is in a tough spot right now. Gets the switch
Great
to the
move.
yellow, and that's a crossover there.
Great move from Brando. I think Caesar came prepared with the fade look though, and he's gonna have to scout this one again. We saw a +2 earlier, so Caesar would have to have a backdoor pocket. He don't got it. Brando's in shit shape now. It was a nice though.
Nothing there for the red, but I mean a double stall is not the worst thing you could do.
I'm telling you, it's that green. It's that backdoor Clint green. That's going to be the. I know we ran out of it. That backdoor Clint green on the draws could be the lock and key.
Listen, we're still looking for the potential Brando yellows here because that is the wild play he did do earlier, and then he gets
There's your
another
yellow.
wild here. It goes back to the yellow.
You ask,
Yeah.
you receive, G. That's how it works.
I'm not quite sure if Caesar's gonna have the +4 this time to switch it up, but we'll see.
He don't need the +4 right now. He don't need. He wants to see where this one goes. That's how Caesar thinks. Yep, wants to see where it goes.
All right, so just goes to the double. We'll see what Brando has on this yellow here. 4-4, so technically a slight lead here.
Yeah, possession there. He'll definitely have something. Maybe a double of his own.
Got the yellow
Oh
skip.
boy, looking for the double.
I mean, this gets scary if this goes into a triple, and
Triple
it's likely
now.
going into a triple.
This could be big. Caesar's gonna have one chance right here. G, is to call out. No call out needed.
Gets it this time. I mean,
Okay,
this is putting
this
puts Caesar in a tough spot here because there's multiple options of what this final card could be.
I mean, he's just gonna have the +4 if he has it at this rate. Nothing.
Challenges it.
Risky on the 4-2 from Caesar. That's risky.
And it pays off. The Ditto challenge works out.
Risky, man, because you never know what number you fish. But good move. He's going to install it. Here comes Brando looking for it again. Another check.
Draws.
No. Draw City with you. I'm telling you, G, it's that lock back door green, baby. Watch that green. Whoever gets to that green could be somebody who's going to check it here. Okay.
That draw off Uno there when that second one comes on, that's always a scary one because you never know what the opponent gets because if they get like a bailout there and it's like really not much you can do. So Caesar's turn switches it to the green.
There it is, G. Lock back door.
Brando has the green here. Does Caesar keep it going? I think this would not be a wise move if Caesar didn't at least have some more on green.
He's just checking the table. He's got to remember, G, when you miss a call out in Brando, you always got to check it, right? Just to be aware.
Green 9. All right. Does Brando have Uno?
That's why he did that table check. Now the key is does Brando execute? Oh!
It switched to the yellow. Oh man. That's interesting though because I don't. Will he have the finish on? I don't think he'd have the finish on yellow, but could he have the number efficiency?
Caesar's got to react right here. Could be a possible sneak move here. Or he's got Uno.
I'm wondering if maybe he just draws. Also, I mean, I don't know if he's really got anything on yellow. Gonna have to see. He is taking a second to think about this.
I think he's got to think about it. We saw what happened against ALP where he just guessed wrong. He's got to think right here. This is his season on the line, G. Let's face it, Caesar knows it too. He cannot afford a loss, especially with ALP losing. And Lamas ahead.
Yeah, I don't think Caesar has a +4 at this rate because I think he would have thrown it out here.
He's
he has the
gamble.
wild blue. This is an all or nothing move here, and it doesn't pay off.
No, he did it again. Oh my God.
Does not pay off once again, and Brando goes up 2-1.
Oh my God. You gotta think there's only one possible option, G. Save it or go for the gap, right? He went for the see, I mean, that's the center move. That has to be the center, man. Right? That's just you went for the gap, and if it no longer existed, you ain't a racing driver. You ain't an Uno player if you don't go for the gap. You accept that knowing, hey, you know what? I went for the gap and we have to go for it. That's really all I got. Brando, great job, I gotta say, man. Insane. I told you at the beginning of this game, G, would the ammo control actually work? And Brando did a great job on the ammo. Brando, you think the ammo control really played in your favor, or do you feel like the switching almost with the Wilds, considering it was low, you hanging on, getting to Uno and forcing Caesar into a mistake was the best move? It seems to be working, G. Getting to that toaster Uno is magical. I figured he had blue, so either way I would have lost.
That's an interesting comment to make because I think Caesar absolutely had the option to just draw there. If he had the confidence that it was not a blue 9 to finish, then I think that could have kept the game going. Maybe go for the risk with the blue 9 there and just bank on the fact maybe that there's not a another draw on the blue, or maybe just have a bit of a stall going on the yellow 9. I mean, I feel like the draw was a very viable option there. So. Um, I don't fully know the it was a huge risk Caesar went for and it did not pay off, so we're gonna have to see how that affects the rest of the series. But I'm just curious about that decision there because I mean you had two losing options there and then one there where you could keep the game going. So
Caesar's in a dogfight, G. At this rate, if he's going to win this series, he's going to have to get to that 100th game. So it's either we get that 100th game for Caesar, or Brando will take it home before that. This is an interesting spot. Brando just cooked on 10 cards, and he's got the momentum right now. He's just going to have to make another in-game adjustment. He knows it, too. Pressure's building right here.
yeah, pretty much. Brando, yes, he will choose again. Can't be 7 or 10, so goes for 8.
Yeah.
So he's keeping it towards the lower mid range.
This is mid-tier. It's definitely borderline on the luck, but he got it all on the 7-carder. Caesar's got to respond here, G. This is a must-win. Oh,
Wild
boy.
Star. This is I've always said this. This is a double-edged sword.
It's not good. You just don't want to see those cards wild, and plus we've been seeing how many wild starts have we seen across the league this tournament alone? It's been random. This could get very dicey, G. And I mean dicey. This could be a 3-minute or less win the way it's been trending. Let's see if this remains true.
Goes with the blue 1. What is the response from Caesar?
It's got to be something, G. It's got to be
Blue
something
2.
big.
Just keeps the blue.
Oh yeah, for the card that.
And run. I think Brando was banking on a switch there. Did not get it.
He what?
It's nothing. Wow.
He outplayed Caesar right there, G. That's smart. You know what? That's textbook right there. They both were banking on a switch, and he basically said, let's gamble. He must have saw something. That's crazy. He's in a fight right now, G. Brando's looking impressive here. Gotta say.
That's interesting because like if you have that maybe that blue could be a stray card of some sort. May have a really good connection for these remaining 3 colors, but you're kind of in a draw city right now, so it's sort of a reset at the moment. But
could be that Clint Green. Gotta watch it. He's gonna go.
Caesar goes back to the blue 1 here, so this is either gonna be Brando drawing a bail or just drawing again here, and he does. Does Caesar do a switch here though? He does not. So keeping in the 1-2.
I've got to say, G, obviously I've not been here for the whole round, but this is probably the best game I've seen, at least of the games I've watched Wednesday and today, for sure. But I don't know if this is the best game of the round. I know a lot of people like that Seth game. That was really good.
Blue 8, blue 3, both top deck. We'll see if there's a switch here still.
Brando's definitely banking on it. Caesar's got to be careful. He has to be careful. He needs to make sure he doesn't get that over-aggression that we know he can get when he's down. And Brando has this. We go red.
This
that's
does
fine.
the switch there. Goes for it. Brando. That's a bit of a bigger gap than I thought it was going to be. But 11 to 7. I mean, now we just run it here. I don't think we're seeing blue unless we get another draw of city going. But this is really going to be a 3-color game from this point forward. Goes for the double here. I mean, Caesar's just furthering the gap right now. So, I mean, this is an important game, I would say, because I mean, Brando could go up 3-1 here, which would make it a harder mountain for Caesar to get through. Brando, my mistake. Goes for a switch, and then Caesar with the crossover. I believe that's one of the first times Caesar's done the crossover this series.
Yeah, this is what Brando potentially was waiting for in the green. Maybe he got undercut. We'll see. Caesar's got to think about it right here.
Table check 4-8. Yellow. I mean, Caesar's got to run this to the end here at this point because, I mean, if he draws, he's in a really tough situation.
I don't think Brando's going to be comfortable here, G. I think he's sensing something here. He knows it, too. I can see it. I can kind of smell that one. This could be a big play, monster play right here, maybe a quad even.
Yellow reverse. We'll see how long this goes.
There it is,
+2.
G.
Even if it's just a +2, that is going to help be helpful. How long does this run go, though? Power
He's
play.
going to
So
power play?
Brando draws.
Ah.
All right, Brando draws there. Caesar's got no more power plays the rest of the series. I mean, I'm curious if maybe Caesar could get a finish there. That's what he needed, anyways. Interesting.
I think he was going to draw.
Maybe the +2 helped him out. It
Oh,
very
yeah.
well might have. Yeah.
Game.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Got some really good cards off that +2 there. I'm wondering, based off how this was played, if maybe it was. I would think the +4 had to been in that. +4 may have had to been in that at some shape or form. But that was all. That was two ammo. That's 2 ammo cards from the +2, and then just 3 really good cards to wrap it up. I mean, this could have also been if we're on the yellow here. I mean, I could see a yellow reverse, red reverse, and maybe the blue skips for the 2 draws. I mean, Caesar, what was the play with that? You do burn the power play here to make it 2-2, but yeah. But what was the strategy? What was the strategy for using the power play there? And I'm curious what the 2 cards there you drew on the +2, because I'm wondering if maybe those the +2 actually helped you get to the end per se.
I got to think here, G, what Caesar's going to say is he saw the Art Allen game. I mean, that's what Allen and Art, that was a little bit similar to that. He saw me and Allen where that defensive power play to win was possible. I'm surprised. Brando, what did you mean by you saying you needed that anyway? Was that a little of a mind game, or you were just going to draw anyway on that +2 and it was a flush? Because that was a flush power play. That's big.
Oh! Freaking draw anyways. Interesting.
Interesting. Gee, that's a slight win for Brando. I mean, think about it. He's got no more Caesar power play. I mean, we know Caesar's better without power play, but Brando's got his, and it's a 2-2 game. Advantage Brando for right now, despite the 2-2. You got to say, this is a big moment.
Yep.
What was the question for Caesar?
We're waiting. Caesar's typing it up. I was just mainly asking what was the call there for the power play, and I also asked what 2 cards he got from the +2 there, because I'm curious if the +2 actually helped him get to the end or if it was just added on.
The gap. He had the gap. Yep.
Figured out the gap because +2 helped me get both the blue skips, even if you needed to draw. Better bring the power play anyways. So yeah, okay. So with the blue skips, it kind of just added on. It didn't necessarily directly give him the path because he already had the path anyways. But yeah, I mean, it's a fortunate draw on the +2 there. It didn't really hurt him. So, but he did burn the power play. That's gonna have to be noted going forward. So we'll see how that goes. But it's 2-2. Caesar's gonna have the home session for Game 5, and I mean, this is gonna be a very important match coming up because this determines who goes up 3-2. KT, any thoughts before we jump into this on how this has played out so far? Do you think this is the way that you were expecting this to go, or do you think this is going a little different than you thought? Do you think Brando's putting up more of a challenge for Caesar than you were initially thinking? Because a lot of people have been talking about Caesar being the round 1 master, but he's kind of being thrown in a bit of a loop so far for this one.
Well, you can always be the round 1 master, G, but you got to remember, Brando has one chip on his shoulder that no one else can really, other than other 12 players, really. He's got no wins. And when you have no wins, it makes you do desperate things, and it makes you do things that you have not seen all year. He's got Caesar on the ropes. For Caesar, he's probably thinking this is a dogfight, right? At this rate, he now knows that next, no matter what, we're going to his 100th game, right? So this is going to be a special series no matter what. I'm going to make that call in Game 6, whether he's up 3-2 or down 3-2, no matter what. He now knows that this is interesting, right? There's that dilemma when you get to those 100-game series. You can sometimes win a season card. And he knows it right now where the pressure's on. This is really what's going to test Caesar. This is a playoff game. These next 2 games, potentially 3, are playoff games for Caesar. And if he's going to be in Super League, it starts right now. The platform needs to start. For Brando, he gets this Game 5 win with the power play. This could be something insane. So we got to keep looking at this Game 5 for sure. But you can never count out what Caesar's going to throw. He's a guy that does mid tier. He likes to go high. And with that being said, Caesar, it's your call, my friend. Cuantos cartas, my friends. What we got? How many? Oh,
Goes low. Really low.
The cap send. He's going for no send. This is huge. Critical.
That's 5's the lowest. This is a big risk from Caesar. I'm curious how this is going to pay off, but this is a bold call.
No power play. Remember, there's no power play on the first turn. Brando can't use it, but this is a gutsy call from the Brazilian right here. Really got the massive cojones down there in South America. Let's see if he can finish this one off and get the 3-2 and get the game 100. He's going to switch it. Aggression.
Switch the 3 and the crossover. That might have actually really hurt Caesar there, depending on what he has. He can run blue, but for how long?
This is gonna get close. Gee, we're 3-3. This can go at any moment. This can light up at any second.
Keeps running blue.
Brando for dose.
Quick switch to red. This is real. We're playing with fire here.
No minutes. No minutes in.
45 seconds.
Caesar needs it. He's had a row. Brando for the tie.
Draws.
What? Caesar for the win. Does it pay off?
No. Doesn't. Ran one short.
I think that was the case. It was 3-color, right? Because the green really was the starting card. That green, maybe Caesar was looking for a fade to look back. That's crazy. Man, that would have been a gutsy call from. He's going crazy.
Red 5. I mean, Brando keeps it low with the draw. So does Caesar. Brando has more red than he let on.
Ooh, that got Caesar up.
That's a switch to Caesar. Brando played a helpful card there against the yellow though. Caesar's on lower cards though.
But Brando's I know. But the thing is, did he have the? No, that's big.
Nothing
Caesar got it. Is it the 2 for the win?
Doesn't.
No, he did. Wow, that's it. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, G. That was absolute masterclass from Caesar right there. Caesar, great job on the 5, man. That was, I'm pretty sure, the first time we've seen in a long time a 5-card start with no +2s, no +4s, no skips, no reverses. No, that's a straight clean cut win, clean shave win. Talk to me about those clean shave games. Have you had experience more in the past where you say, hey, this is a clean shave game. I want to go 5 here. You know he can't use power play, right? You know he can't use power play on the first turn and maybe force him into a compromise spot. It's a bit, you almost needed that because he still has his power play at any time. Yeah, I'm with you, Pez here. Brando, that red, was that a case if he didn't have it? Could you have played a little more cautiously, or did you saw the gap and you wanted to go for it? 1 minute, G. I mean, that's the nature of it. Saw the gap. There it is.
I mean, you've got to consider this also. I mean, he had the red 5, red 2. I mean, Caesar still had that 1 red there, so I'm wondering if maybe it's just the switch. If it's just the switch there, but it just does not pan out.
That green, man. I mean, that was the starting card. I had said that, G, the green, someone was fading the green. Ultimately, Caesar made the first appropriate switch, and it worked out. What a crazy storyline, though, G, for sure. But let's before we get into the next match right here, G, I want to just congratulate Mr. Caesar on 100 career games. You know, you look at Jay Caesar. I'm going to go read some of his stats here on my old CPU. You know, obviously he's still playing right here, but he has 54 wins now on the docket. He's looking for his 10th series win tonight. You know, this man, G, he's been around the block, and, you know, he's still looking for that first big win of his career. But some of these finishes in his career, man, you got to look at this. He's finished 9th, 6th, career best, 7th, right, 10th. He's been here 4 times in the top 10. He knows what he's doing. Caesar, for me, my question for you, man, as a valued member of this league, right, it's always important to celebrate 100 games. I just want to know what your thoughts are going in, not only to this potential light the candle moment, where you can light the candle on your hundreds, but just your thoughts on this league, man. And I paid a little. Oh, remember, he's going to.
So play a little mind with no ammo cam, got right connector for the yellow. Now I know what Alan said to me about strategically using this lower card starts. And it was Alan had said that in bot testing. That was a private thing. But yeah, Caesar, just my question, man.
your thoughts on just making your 100th career start, man. Your thoughts on the league overall and your journey. I mean, you're looking for your 10th series win. I mean, 10 divided by 100 is 10. You're averaging 10 wins, basically, in a full calendar year because you didn't start here from the OG days of March, so you're making your 100th. Let's give it up for Caesar, and let's clap it up for the homie, man. 100 career starts. Let's all give it a clap. I'm allowing it, G. Let's all clap it up for the homie. Congratulations to Jay Caesar, man. And we appreciate you, man. I'll make sure to give you that 100 career start post after this game, no matter what happens. But you still got a job to do, buddy. 100th game, you can light the candle huge. We've seen people light it pretty big on this game and win and then lose the series. Your goal is just to light and finish it off. What's it going to be? Oh, actually, it's Brando's start.
It's Brando, and Caesar. Man. It's Caesar's 100th, and Brando's going to be one setting the candles here. So,
yeah, okay. Well, Brando, you're going to set the candles. I almost forgot. No, 15. Are we going to set it on the 100th?
6. Bit of a tease there, but
dang, that would have been cool. Okay, we'll go 6. 1 up this time, G. This is risky from Brando. He's got to go, but he's got power play, right? That's the thing. He's got the power play.
Yeah, could definitely use it here to make this a clean game 7, but starts with the blue skips. I mean, this is kind of notable when it gets low card starts, and that's why you got the yellow skip there, and that's an early run with the switch, already down to 4. And it's a bit of separation already. I mean, when you have these lower card starts, separation's huge.
Ditto.
Challenges it a bit. And beats the challenge. It's another that's another Ditto challenge that's worked out for Caesar here. I need to get the reaction. I'm missing it. There we go.
Draw City early.
We saw this with the prior game. Not quite at the start, but
you wonder, man. You wonder with Brando G, is he playing too aggressive? Maybe not so much the ammo thing, because the ammo control actually has been it's been spot on. But you wonder, as the experience grows, is he playing too aggressive on potential undercut strategies, and that sometimes can cost you, because that's the 3rd time we've seen that in this series where the color could have backtracked in the wrong direction. He does have the what?
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a reset at this point, but
it is a reset. And it's true.
Kind of like a quick sprint to start, and then just kind of not much really happening here. I mean, Caesar's going to need a switch at this point.
Yeah, they're building their hand right here. About to build it. There's the switch.
There it is.
10 apiece now.
I have to wonder if maybe Brando drew that green 7. But now we just kind of run it on the green. Goes for the 0.
Brando's got power play anytime. Caesar's got to be aware. That's the thing in his mind. You know, if you're Caesar, it wouldn't be the worst thing to try to flush it defensive move, but it's still too long way to go. G 8-9 car, you got a long way to go. He's going to switch again. Caesar going to go double. Here comes Brando.
Blue reverse blue 5.
Okay, ditto. Caesar's been very good in number efficiency in the past. This will be another timely one for it. No need. Can still run it. Nothing for Brando. This is big G. Brando's running in the corners here, GG. I'm telling Caesar, nothing too.
This is just a really big stall here. I think both these players have a lot of reds and yellows here, but it's just nothing on the green and nothing on the blue.
Well, we haven't seen many +4s this series, G. You wonder if there's a save coming. Been very low on that, I will say.
Oh, there is 100% a save coming. It could be on both sides even.
The thing is, Brando, like I said, with his save, there's a little bit of a heat check there. Small one. If it is his save, G, and he uses the power play, we go to a square up game 7. If he doesn't, that's huge. A game 7 with the power play save would be Caesar's got to rethink. This is a big game for him. For both, really. For Caesar, especially.
Switch the green 3. So we go back to the green. Interesting.
New color.
Green didn't have a lot here, before, but still no red. Red has not shown up once.
Brando looking for a potential kick saving a beauty here to try to get the lead. If he can. I think that's what he's looking at right here. Cesar at the lead with 2 possessions. That can be wiped away in a turn. Not really.
Nothing on the green. I mean, I was thinking that because there wasn't really a lot of plays on the green earlier. I was wondering if
There's
maybe he
the
just
red.
needed a switch. Gets the switch on the red here. He should be able to play now, but I was wondering if maybe just wanted to get rid of those greens and maybe gamble to get a switch off. Didn't get it, but didn't get it before he had the draw, but got it now.
Got to be the yellow kick saving a beauty then. Okay.
Ooh, running power play, so Caesar's got a draw.
Not so fast, Japez. Caesar's drawn. Smart. That's big. That's big.
Right.
Yeah,
We'll see what he does.
That power play was coming. Caesar couldn't type it that quick. He knew it too. No power plays.
Going clean straight out from this point. We'll see what Brando responds with. I mean, he surely has red.
What do you mean he knows how to? He knows how to use it. He did it against Clay. He knows how to use it.
Red skip. Okay, so it doesn't stack the +2.
He knows how to use it, man. Just because they have 0 wins doesn't mean they know how to use it. Always remember that. Can't underestimate an opponent.
This is the top flight, so the big run here.
No matter what, this is a game changer. No matter what happens here, this was a clear win from Caesar.
Just kind of slowly going through it. 6-3. I mean, I have to wonder if Caesar had the game won there, so I'm wondering what he has there. +4. I was about to say if he had a run without any draws, I was a little concerned that Caesar might have been able to still finish the game anyways, but throws the +4 down. That keeps it alive 100%.
100%. Oh,
maybe even longer. Jeez. And draws. Wow. That is quite the way to end it.
Well, I don't even mind that. You got to do something. You have to do something. I wouldn't say it's horrendous. I mean,
it goes back to the yellow. I have to wonder if that's something he had part of his run to the end, but that's a 7-9.
Only thing I could think of, Pez, why he didn't want to do is why give him more. It's a numbers game, right? Because if you have all that ammo, maybe it's too much game where it's like, hey, you know what? It's an interesting power. I don't think it's the worst one, though. It's definitely not as bad as people might look at as, because it's better to lose the series. That's for sure. It's better than that, right, Jay? You don't want to lose the series.
Absolutely.
I get where he's coming from. It's working for him. It's working. It's working for Brando. He's going to tie the game up. I mean, he's going to, no matter what, we're going to a shootout now. Either if it's a game 7 clean, or right now we're finishing this one clean. It's a shootout either way. Interesting switch, though. Caesar now on defense. He's down. Interesting. He's got to rethink. Triple play. Well, that's going to put him back on offense. A huge play from Caesar. Looking for a triple into a quad. Caesar looking for the quad right here.
I mean, he's got to figure at this point. I have to wonder if maybe Caesar's used up all his ammo at this point, though, because, I mean, some of this is from the +4, but I think he had to run to the end here, so I'm wondering if maybe that's it for the ammo. He's just going to have to run numbers for the rest of this. It's only 2.
It's still 9-2. It's not 12-2. It's not 15. It's still a close game. We've seen 4 baggers make this close.
Nothing on red. Wow, that's might be costly.
Gambling right there. Caesar for win right here. He might have saved the split ammo stuff. Yeah, there it is.
Wow, that's it.
Comic style. Light the candle and blow it out. Caesar gets it done, boys.
I'm curious if it's a +4. Wow. Yep. That's 1, 2. I know Brando had 1, 3. I think that was just 3 of the 4 +4s. Caesar ended up getting 2 of them, but I figured at least one of the +4s was from that initial run to the finish, so there's only so much you can do there at that point. I should have stopped it earlier, but uh, yeah, Caesar takes the win here. Brando does the power play to stall for a bit, but unfortunately it's not enough. Can't figure something out. And Caesar is going to take the victory here, and that's unfortunately another 0-win player who does not get the victory here. So what was initially looking as a big opportunity for a lot of these players has really just kind of fallen into chaos for the most part. Let's go to Caesar here to start off. I mean, it seems
Yep.
like to start things out, it seems like you were looking pretty good. You were able to flush the power play and even then still get the job done in your 100th game win. Any thoughts on that? And what does that mean for you to win on your 100th game? Especially since historically so far this season, a lot of people who have had their 100th game have not ended up doing so well in the series.
I mean, gee, it was a longer series, but let's face it, gee, you probably shouldn't have because the first game should have ended in 2 minutes.
Pretty
But
much.
yeah, it should have been a 25-minute series. But this was the end of the line. You look at Caesar. Gee, I'm going to say this right now. I mean, he knows it's business as usual. This is at this rate will be the second most experienced guy in the league coming in next. He knows what he's got to do. Sanford is coming in. See, my question, yeah, congratulations on the 100. What can you take away from Brando's game tonight, knowing that, hey, you know what? I got myself a real adversity check. This was not easy. This was probably one of the better series for you. You played in round one. You got the test out of the way. What do you got to do to rattle Sanford, right? Forget the game. How are you going to get into Sanford's mind and rattle his cage? Because that's not an easy guy to rattle. Brando, I mean, you played really well. This is probably the best Uno I've seen you play since March. How do you look into this and say, look, you're in a tough all right. You got 0 win. You still got one more tournament. How do you get out? Because this is definitely some things to build on. Sure, I can see the power play what Pez is saying, but at the end of the day, you really can't account for a bailout +4. G. I mean, if Caesar drew those +4s on a bailout, there's so much you can account for and try to do some percentages quickly in your head. So I get where both sides are coming from for sure. Back to you, G.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with Caesar, Brando making a comment here, you assume all the time the opponent has 100% better cards than I do. I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of the mindset playing behind it, it kind of works sometimes, but also may not
Too
work.
much, yep.
Gamble too much, yeah. I think the good thing for Brando here, and this is the question I'm really going to ask you here, past 2 tournaments were kind of just a whole lot of nothing for you. You got swept twice, went 0-8 in those tournaments. I mean, you started off this series pretty strong, getting a win there, and then was up 2-1 at one point. What do you take away from those wins to try and catapult yourself into a series win for Tournament 5? Is that's definitely going to be what you're going to need as we go forward? Again, Brando's going to type that, so I mean, both our players are really typing the comments here, so it's just going to be I do better with more cards for sure, like starting cards, yeah. Even though you did win on 7 and 10, I mean, 10 was the second highest, although that's still mid-pack, but...
Well, the only thing I'm going to question about that, so Brando, if you like more, why would the 6 cards start in Game 6, though? Was that just momentum, or were you thinking, hey, let's try to go 6 and then hope he goes 15 at the end? I'm interested. If you like more hands, why the 6? I'm sure you Pez might have been thinking.
I was trying to replicate his success with the 5.
Ah, okay, so monkey see monkey. Yeah, that's
I don't think that game really panned out the same anyways, because, I mean, Game 5 went 1 minute, was really just a quick 100-meter sprint, and then Game 6 was more like the 800, so... kind of a little bit more paced out there, but still kind of on the aggression for the most part. I mean, it's 8 minutes, so maybe 1600.
I'm interested to see what Caesar says here, G, because I mean, you're playing Charles. In most given years, G, Charles Sanford is a force, right? This series got some vulnerabilities. I want to see what Caesar says, because this is a tough matchup, right? This pod is very lethal. You got Caesar, you got Sanford, you got Peter, you got myself. This is a lot of experience in this pod. It's probably one of the more old school pods you'll see. No, yeah, it's not easy to rattle Sanford, but I won't share much about my plans around. I'll just share this GIF. That's all I need to see. I think this man's locked in. Yes, sir, G.
Yeah, I'm just saying, write it down. That's what old Sponge Boy is saying inside there. But yeah, I mean, on paper, this pod is one of the tougher ones, but it's just the execution this season has just not been there. I mean, Peter was 1-3 coming into this tournament. Did get the win there over did get the win there over and I mean, I guess not this pod specifically, but I guess this region as a whole. And then you have Sanford, who I mean, he's had a really good regular season for the tournament he was here for last tournament. Had a pretty disappointing Super League, but like since then, it's just had a good run in March where he made it to the regional final, but then has just had nothing to show for it since then. So on paper, it's a really strong region, but it's just the execution's just not been there this season. It's been a disappointing season for a lot of people here. So looking for a potential turnaround here. But I mean, for Caesar, kind of similar where it's like I think he's a good player, but it's not really been the season he's been hoping for. So this is a big opportunity for him to correct course and truly prove himself here. Because I mean, I really think for him it's if he doesn't make it to at least the regional final here, this is going to be a very tough hill to climb for Tournament 5, especially if he doesn't get any of these quality wins that he so desperately needs.
Gee, I wanted to make this point. This is going to be the only pod, probably one of the first pod. We have 4 players that have made 100 career starts or more. I just did the math sheet. We don't combine all 4 of us, 493 starts. That's a lot of experience, G. That's the most we've ever seen. Right now, the league is still young. But I think we did a study last year. What was there, 1,000 games in the league played total? This 500, almost half of it, if we go back to last year, is in this pot. It's very experienced, but you're right. It comes down to no matter how much experience you have in this league, execution on game day. There's nothing like a game day feeling. We'll see what Caesar can do. He's just taking notes. Sanford's not easy. You can never count out Peter Ante. He knows when to turn up. He won March. He turned up in Super League. We'll see how it goes, but for Brando, I think the last words I'm going to say, G, I think there's still work to do. I'm going to say this right now. I'm not going to say this was as good as I think a lot of people, from what I could tell. I can't speak for him. It seemed like Allen was the guy that had 0 wins that really impressed, right? That really impressed. But I think Brando was definitely better than, let's say, a Clint or a Payne or, unfortunately, Fitzy, who's fallen off the earth. But that's my thoughts just to kind of close it out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we're just going to jump back to the bracket party, you're not updated, but again, it's going to be Caesar versus Charles Sanford in the next round, and then on top we have KT versus Peter Onchak, battle of the 2 March winners. So that'll be an interesting one to watch out for. Again, 493 games combined from these 4 players, so overall a ton of experience in the league as a whole, even though we're not that old. It's only 2nd season in the league, but really expansive, a lot of games that have been played. I mean, we're just going to jump back to the stream here. I'm just going to pull up the relegation battle here one more time because Brando, Leah, Clint have all. We're just going to mainly talk about the people who are below the cut line per se. We do have 4 people who are 1-4 right now. Acosta, Ellison, Logan, Aiden Smith. Acosta at 11, and then running it down 10, 9, 8 respectively for Ellison, Logan, Aiden Smith. I mean, right now they're safe because none of the 0-win guys have won. Again, that cut line is firmly at the 1-win mark, and we're just waiting for someone to break through on the 0-win side, if at all. I mean, is there a possibility that we just end this season with the 12 people who have 0 wins?
No.
Is that just how it goes? Because I mean, Cologne's not coming back, so that's kind of already one scratched out. He's kind of just auto getting relegated, although he's not coming back anyways. Monaco lost. Bolton's not here this tournament. Allen lost. Payne lost. Fitzy lost. There's really only 3. There's only 3 0-win players left to play, and that's Mac Johnson, myself, which were the 2 highest 0-win people. But then you also have Varigold, who was the runner-up of Super League last year. I mean, do you think at least one of those 3 could break through, or do you think there's a possibility we exit this tournament with not a single new winner this season?
Calling it right now, all 3 break through right there on the spot. I'm calling it all 3 will break through, and here's why. I think you look at Varigold. I know people have said he's checked out. I see him. He's looking at the lounge. He's seeing the news post. He's seeing some of this stuff. I remember. I have that eclectic memory. Never forget this, G. A couple nights ago on that reveal show, glad to see the computers with me. That right there is a change in mindset that we haven't seen yet from Varigold. For you, G, look, at the end of the day, we all know the problems you've had, but you're G. You can streak out any moment. You got the 100 series. Look, Caesar just won his 100 series. You're starting game 1 at the 100. Maybe there's a tie turning. I think Pat gets – we know he's going 7. It's Pat Johnson. It's got to go 7. It's not a pack without a 7, right? I think the 7-pack, he gets that 7th win. Or, well, gets the Game 7 win and gets his first one of his career. I think all 3 break through. It's a heat check moment for me. I rarely do it. That's an honor of art. But I think all 3 can break through. As far as the other guys,
Just gonna post that here for the stream.
I just look at Clint. Clint is not in the great spot. Leah hasn't shown, and Brando showed me something tonight. He can get there. Fitzy, I'm off the train. Gee, the only way Fitzy wins, in my opinion, is if he does somehow play me. That's it. I don't think he's got anything else on anybody else. He has to. He only knows my moves. So unless it's me, he's not winning. Payne's checked out. Bolin, no chance. I don't see Monaco. Allen is a wild card. The problem with Allen G is look at his schedule. Round 1 hard. Myself, round 1. And you throw in captain. Until Allen gets somebody not a tournament winner or round 1 hard, it's hard to really say he's played someone normal. Those guys are unbelievable. And then the guys you got to still look. MGR can win. A lot of people are high on Brian as well as H. You don't know too much about Radden in England. And I think the wild cards are Zach and AR, right? Because Zach, he's got Eli coming in. Let's see what Eli's going to do tomorrow. And the bigger one, G, in my opinion, is Sapir still has that 3-0, 4-0 potential with that power play lingering over his head from the last tournament. How's he going to adapt? I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that he's got that game on wrap. So I think you got to watch for AR and Zach. Those are going to be 2 guys, along with Brian and, of course, H. That's my opinion for sure.
Yeah, again, everyone in Boulder, the people who have not played yet, I mean, if we're looking at this bubble right now, obviously the people who are not Boulder right now on the 0 win line, they are going to go down as these last 3 will play, as Mac and myself already have more game wins than all 3 of them. So in the event we lose that, we'll probably just jump back up to the top of the cut line. But I mean, yeah, you look at this, most of the people who are lower right now are people who haven't played, but I mean, even then, the people who are bottom of this barrel, I mean, I think if you're looking at the people who already played, I think Aiden Smith's in a bit of a worrisome spot. But then even then, you look at the people who are below. Zach A 100% has got to be concerned. Sam England, Radden as well. I mean, they have not had great seasons. They have 1 series win, but Rodden's was kind of one that a lot of people are a little bit questionable about. Sam England's was all the way back in March against Starkbrand. He's not really shown anything since then. And Zach's kind of just been all over the place, I mean, since he joined this league. So those 3, I think, are really got to be concerned. Aiden's got to be watching this bubble very carefully because he's not very safe either. I think Acosta, even though he's at 1-4, I think he's okay. I do think if we do get to the point where the 1-win guys are at the right, I do believe 10 should be the safe number, but we'll have to see how this plays out. I mean, this is an interesting battle to watch out for. And this gets more interesting the moment one of these 0-win players win, and we still have 3 to go here, and it's probably some of the better players in this 0-win group. So we're really gonna have to see how that plays out. But that's just one last thing I wanted to bring up before we close the show.
One last thing, G, I'm going to say though, if you look at the 0-win guys, we talk about desperation was going to come in this tournament. There is a relegation tournament that's still to be announced, but a lot of these guys, excluding the 3 that still got to play, a lot of these guys are. Well, excluding Clint and Fitzy, who are, I believe, legend and master, that's not happening. A lot of them are rookies, right? They're rookies or a sophomore in paint. They're still learning the game. I think power play could be a problem for some of these guys. You look at the rookies; they're trying to learn the systems. It's not easy, Lee J. You have to understand. This league is so hard to win, and Pat Johnson still hasn't won. He's been here since almost the start.
Since April of last year.
Yeah, basically he hasn't won a game. It's gonna blow your mind, but he's winless in the last 16 months. Right? It is. You're on a year winless streak. It's hard. This is
about to hit the year.
And the last thing, at the end of the day, I was actually telling Caesar this. We were on one of our junk calls. It's hard to win here, and it's supposed to be hard. You're not supposed to be playing right away. You have to learn to live with the 45, 60. I haven't played since June 1st, G. Potentially, my next game won't be till July 25th. I have to learn to live with that 50-plus day layoff and see these games and adjust my strategy for one opponent. It's hard, but you know what? It makes it worth it when you do win the game. And I'm sure Caesar's going to look back and say, hey, you know what? A little adversity here by 1. I escaped. And it's the old adage, right? Survive in advance, as the once great Jimmy V said with NC State. Survive in advance, 1-0 or 0-1 mentality. Gee, wrap us up home. Thank you.
All right, yeah, well, there's your last look at the relegation battle right now. Again, Boulder, the people who have yet to play. I mean, you're really looking at the 3-0 win guys who have yet to play right now, and the people on the lower end of the 1-win scale, and possibly Aiden Smith as well, because I don't think he's very safe at the moment, depending on how the results go. But anyways, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back with more action tomorrow, including the second match of the D2 Final Four in the June Gelato. Again, earlier today, we saw Goldie beat Alex 5-3, and we will determine who Goldie's challenger will be in the June Gelato final. And it'll be either White Spider or Jav who will take that spot. So we'll see some of that. But then we'll also have some more D1 action coming at you. I mean, if I'm quickly looking at the schedule for tomorrow, um, uh, only one, only we okay, no, I misread that. We have three streamed games going. Clay versus Sam England will start us off on the stream at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have a quick break with D2 at 6 p.m. And then to close out the night, we'll have number 8 seeded Nick take on number 9 seeded Lane in the Swamp region, and then number 8 seeded Edward Ziemba, who was one of those people who was in that relegation cut line. And I mean, we talk about Pac, who's been here since April and hasn't won. Ziemba broke a very long no-win streak last tournament and made a run all the way to the round of 8. So that's something to consider for a lot of these players who are currently down at the bottom right now, that they could just suddenly pop off in one of these tournaments and have a big run. But that'll do it for tomorrow's action. Again, if we're looking at the relegation battle, I mean, Sam England's going to be the one to watch out for, and that'll be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But enough of that. Again, on behalf of KT in the league, I'm G-Man. We thank you all for watching, and we will see you tomorrow with some more MRE Uno action. Until then, have a good night, everybody.